I'd like to call this meeting to order. If you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda?
Yes, tonight we have a change. Action item C will be moved up under Chief Ringwalski's report.
Alrighty.
And that's it.
Okay. Are there any corrections to the minutes of the special meeting from April 6, 2015? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving those minutes from the special meeting of April 6, 2015, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Thank you. Those minutes stand approved. Are there any corrections to the regular meeting of April 6, 2015? Hearing none, those in favor of approving those minutes from the regular meeting of April 6, 2015, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those minutes are approved. We move on to reports. I want to welcome everybody here. I don't think we've ever seen this many people in this room that I recall. I have a few things. Can you hear me in the back? Yes? There's some extra chairs right here if you wanted to sit down. No? Okay, we won't do that. A few things. One is the township this year, 2015, well, it was actually our waste hauler, Mterra, moved all of our trash pickup days to Thursday. So every household in the township that pays to have their trash picked up through Mterra through the township, it's picked up on Thursdays. And I wanted to let everyone know, because we still are getting calls, yard waste pickup began April 1st, and it will carry on through the end of November. So put your trash, your recycling, and your yard waste out. It's begun. That's one thing. Two is there's going to be a Flint Township annual shred day for residents. If you're a resident of the township and you can prove it with your license, on Saturday, May 16th from 10 to noon, we'll have shred experts out here. Madam Clerk does that twice a year. So if you have 2 boxes or 2 shopping bags, you're welcome to come and have them shred for free. That's May 16th, 2015, 10 a.m. to noon. Genesee County is having a household hazardous waste and electronic waste collection day. They do this every year, and we participate. It's all the items that our trash haulers won't take, mostly. And that day is going to be Saturday, May 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that will take place where it always does, at the Flint East Water Service Center, 3310 East Court Street. And for our convenience, it's going to be at Carmen Ainsworth High School this year. So just to let you know that there's probably going to be a lot of traffic on Linden Road, May 2nd, 10 to 2, because we're all going to take advantage of dumping stuff at the Household Hazardous Waste and Electronic Waste Collection Day. There's more information on our website or on Genesee County Planning Commission website for this collection. There's a community e-waste collection April 24th and 25th. That's this weekend, Friday and Saturday, right? 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days, this Friday and Saturday. And you can bring your electronic waste to, where are we doing this at? Parking lot located on the southeast corner of East 5th Avenue in Saginaw. It's sponsored by U of M Flint and Recycle Genesee County and, oh, that's more of U of M. So that's also listed on our website. If you have phones, pagers, PDAs, smartphones, printers, faxes, keyboards, and the like, if it's electronics, they'll take it. I wanted to draw your attention to the yellow cards in our lobby. They're a form. It's not even a form. It's a number you can call if you do not have your house identified with the number. You can have them come do it for $20, and they will donate a portion of that to our fire department and our first responders, whether it's police, fire, paramedics, or ambulance, will be able to find your house lickety-split in an emergency, because elsewise you're going to have a hard time. Trust you me. Then I wanted to also say that a lot of the stuff that I've mentioned is on our website. flinttownship.org. We have a lot of information on that website. We have our meeting schedules. We have the latest news, such as we still have, well, this isn't so new, but it's still available, free carbon monoxide and smoke detectors to qualifying residents. And you can see where the map is. If you qualify, if you live in the township and you live in these areas, you can get a free carbon monoxide or smoke detector, and all you have to do is come in here and bring proof. Where's Rose? Proof of that you live in the township, right? Just an ID.
If you can call me at 600-3212, I can identify if you're into low to moderate income area. I'll be happy to assist.
So, one of the last things I want to say is that, what day is the election? May 5th.
Yes.
There's an election, and mostly there's two things on the ballot. You know about the state proposal. We had John Daly from, he's the director of the Road Commission, come and speak about that. We also had someone speak against that from Saginaw, Mr. Milne, at our last meeting. I wanted to draw to your attention that the township has a road millage renewal. And I'll read the language. It's very short. Shall the previously voted increase in the tax limitation imposed under Article 9, Section 6 of the Michigan Constitution within the Charter Township of Flint, Genesee County, Michigan, of .50 mils, which millage increase will expire in 2015, be renewed for said township in an amount not to exceed .5 mils, which is 50 cents on each $1,000 taxable value, against all taxable real and tangible personal property for a period of 10 years, from 2016 to 2025, inclusive to provide funds for road maintenance and improvement. The first year of this levy shall generate an estimated revenue of $221,000. So over the last 10 years, we've done a lot of road repair. We've done a lot of ditching. We've helped come alongside our residents when they did special assessments and replaced their entire road. So we've got a lot of bang for our buck. We've spent about $5 million repairing. It's not a perfect fix, but it's repaired a lot of roads, and I hope that if this should pass, that we can help repair a lot more. And I'd like to remind you that as you're voting for Proposal 1, Proposal 1 is state-funded, and that will pay for roads such as Corona Road. The Genesee County Road Commission is limited by law to pay up to 50%, no more, for local and primary roads, and they pay zero for neighborhood roads. You get $0 from Genesee County Road Commission to help repair roads in your neighborhood. That funding, the $400,000, which would be 2015, helps to repair roads in your neighborhoods. It also helps to pay for ditching. It helps to pay for signal improvement. It helps pay for lighting. We pay $35,000 a month to light the township, whether it's signals or it's street lights. Anyway, it's been a good bang for our buck. So lastly, we don't do this too often, but I wanted to have a word of prayer. In light of the retirement of Flint Township Fire Chief John Ringwalski and Communication Operator Janelle DeVille, as we honor them and wish them well, I'd like to begin this evening with a prayer of blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance towards you and give you peace. Shalom. We bless you in the name of the Lord. Amen. That's my report this evening. Madam Clerk, do you have a report?
I just want to add on to a little bit on the May 5th election. As you said, there are two proposals on the ballot. One is a local proposal for roads. The other is a state proposal. And in the beginning, absentee ballots are still going out. Those that have requested for an absentee ballot was 1,694. We have received back 1,199 of those requests, so that's 71%. So that's a pretty good request return. The other is, in front of you, I have left a letter that came in by email today. Denise Policiola, I probably slaughtered that last name, and I apologize for that. It's a request for revision to the Flint Township medical marijuana ordinance. I've given each one of the board members a letter to review, and we can discuss that at a later date. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The treasurer, Madam Treasurer, is at a conference being certified and credentialed. Is there someone who would
I
like...
would like to honor the warrants and pay the bills.
Support.
Is there any discussion on that? Any questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, we have a motion to honor the warrants and pay the bills.
Yes.
Roll call,
Ms.
please.
Spinelli? She's gone, sorry. Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Court? Yes. Mr. Castle?
Yes.
Mr. Menudas?
Yes.
Mrs. Vert?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Do we have any trustee reports this evening?
I have a question. I've been asked by one of the board members of Health Plus, when is that road going to be repaired, you know?
Yes, there was a notice that went to Steve Snyder from Health Plus and to Larry White from Patsy Lou. The bids went out and they should begin construction by the end of May.
Thank you.
Any other trustee reports?
Yes, I do. Scrap tire collection date will be Saturday, June 6th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here at the township. And what that is, it is a grant that we received from DEQ, and it will allow township residents to drop off vehicle tires. There's no cost to the township.
Thank you. I don't think that's on the website yet. We'll get that on the, it is on the website?
Not yet.
We'll get that on the website. Thank you, trustee Parker. Are there any other trustee reports? We'll move on to general reports. Chief Sippert, do you have a report for us this evening?
No report this evening.
That was quick. Mrs. Tucker, do you have a report for us this evening? Chief Ringwalski, do you have a report for us this evening? Your last report?
Sure, I'd like to say a few things. First of all, I want to make the public aware that if they had trouble getting into our local Walmart this morning, it was due to some water pipes that broke. We think it was relative to the power outage that we had this morning. When the power kicked on, it kicked on their pump and blew some lines. So they were shut down for a few hours. Second, the Red Cross is doing a drive to install smoke detectors in Flint Township, and April 29th they'll be assembling at our Station 1 over here across the parking lot to do a training for the public. Any volunteers that are interested in installing smoke detectors in Flint Township can show up then. The plan is for Red Cross to go around and in this area, municipality at a time. They went and did City of Flint. They've already installed over 250 in the City of Flint, and they're willing to come into our neighborhoods and with individual volunteers help do that, so we look forward to that. That event will be in May. Captain, is May 6th and 7th?
Yeah.
May 6th or 8th and 9th? It's Friday and Saturday, right?
Just 2 weekends, yeah. First weekend they canvass, the second weekend they install.
Okay, so, but if anyone's interested, contact the Red Cross, or they can call us and Captain Colbert will get back with them. Lastly, I would like to make a recommendation to hire trainee Jose Hernandez to the status of on-call firefighter probationary in Flint Township.
Thank you.
I have a motion to support the hiring of Jose Mirandas to on-call firefighter trainee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any questions?
Question. Is Mr. Hernandez here? What's he look like?
Ask him to stand up,
There he is.
Oh, okay. That's good enough.
and we'll bring him forward.
Other question. You live in a township?
No, sir.
Where do you live?
City. I'm about a mile out.
Oh, okay. Well, you're in Genesee County anyway. You're not up in Bay City or anything. Okay.
We allow on-call to live within a mile radius of our perimeter.
Yeah, but he could be a future full-timer.
It could.
Any other questions? On the motion, did you have anything else to say, Chief?
I just wanted to present Jose with his, upon your approval, of course, his pin, so I'll let you do your...
Alrighty. So, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the probationary hiring of Jose Hernandez as on-call firefighter trainee.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Court, yes. Mr. Castle?
Yes.
Mr. Menudas?
Yes,
Mrs. Vert?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
he made it.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Presenting Jose with his collar brass and also his ribbons for firefighter 1 and 2, hazmat, and incident command. Thank you.
Well, I went to the Fire Academy graduation, and we're glad to have you with us. So, let's see. Next, we're going to move on to proclamation for Chief Ringwalski. You want to come forward? Can you come up here too, Assistant Chief Berkeley?
Are you going to speak for more than 3 minutes?
So we'll put John in the middle, and you can stand on one side, I'll stand on the other.
Okay.
This goes.
Yes.
So I hope I get through this with no problems. We've worked together now almost a year, been chief since 2009. So it's exciting that you get to retire and relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor, but we're going to miss you here. You've been here a long time, Joe. You've served this community well. Whereas Chief John Ringwalski has served the citizens of the Charter Township of Flint as an able and thoughtful employee during his 31 years serving the Flint Township Fire Department. Whereas Chief Ringwalski began his career serving the residents of Flint Township on January 1st, 1984 as an on-call firefighter. Whereas Chief Ringwalski became a full-time firefighter for the Flint Township Fire Department on May 1st, 1989. Whereas Chief Ringwalski, as testament to his leadership skills, was promoted to the rank of lieutenant in 1991, fire investigator in 1994, captain in 1995, and fire inspector in 1998. Whereas Chief Ringwalski has diligently served as fire chief since February 17, 2009. Whereas Chief Ringwalski has continually furthered his education by attending C.S. Mott Community College, Michigan State University, and Eastern Michigan University, attaining an associate's degree in fire science, certification as an emergency medical technician, and command training. Whereas Chief Ringwalski has effectively worked with the State of Michigan fire investigators, the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, as well as numerous local fire departments. Whereas Chief Ringwalski has been an active member of many organizations, serving in a variety of leadership roles, including as the 2013 president of the Genesee County Fire Chiefs Association, the Community Emergency Response Team with the American Red Cross, a representative on the Genesee County Local Emergency Planning Committee, chairman of the Genesee County Mutual Aid Box Alarm System, and a member of the Genesee County Salvation Army and Rotary Club of Genesee Valley. Whereas Chief Ringwalski has devoted countless hours to fire safety education within Genesee County, and whereas Chief Ringwalski has shown his dedication and commitment to the Charter Township of Flint as a lifelong resident of the community, and whereas Chief Ringwalski is a loving husband to his wife Becky and devoted father to his children Stacy and AJ, whereas the Charter Township of Flint wishes to publicly recognize the noteworthy contributions of Chief Ringwalski to the safety and well-being of the Flint Township community. Now, therefore, the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Flint, on behalf of the staff and residents, do hereby issue this proclamation to honor Chief John Ringwalski and recognize his time and dedication on the Charter Township of Flint Fire Department, signed this 20th day of April, 2015. Congratulations.
It's tradition to give his fire helmet to the chief that he's been wearing for 6 years now, I believe. So congratulations, Chief. Thank you.
And we wanted to take some pictures. If you would come up. We'll do it now, and then we're going to move on to else.
AJ,
And so while you take these pictures, we have to approve the proclamation.
Vote to approve.
I'm sorry, I didn't let you speak. Go right ahead.
Tried to take away my 3 minutes. Some of you know how that can be upsetting, huh? Don't start yet, okay? Thank you, Madam Supervisor. when I found out I was going to retire, I had to consider if I was going to have a party or not, and I was concerned that nobody would show up. And I realized that most of these people are here to see our police communications operator, Janelle. I appreciate you sharing some of your crowd with me. This is overwhelming, and I'm really, I'd like to say I'm speechless, but you're still going to get 3 minutes out of me. So I want to thank the board for promoting me to the position of chief 6 years ago. I know it was a unanimous decision, and I appreciate that. I do appreciate the opportunity to serve in this capacity. The time has gone by. I started the department 31 years ago, but prior to that, while I was in high school at the age of 16, I became an EMT and served with the Flint Township Fire Department ambulance, which became shut down in late '78. My dad was on the department for 25 years, and that's, as a young boy, we'd run to fires with him, and obviously got me the exposure to this. It's been a terrific life. I've 31 years doing this, and I know that come 2 days from now, I almost made it. I turned this in, and it'll be a sad, happy feeling. I know it won't be going off in the middle of the night anymore, and I can tell you this, my wife won't notice anyway because she never heard it before. She'd wonder why I was getting into bed, or she'd wonder why I was tired in the morning. But it is for all the firefighters in the room, past and present. They can appreciate what it's like, as well as their families, to have to hear that and to get up. I hope that I've made a little bit of an impact, a positive impact in our community. I know that I'm going to miss the action and the interaction with the individuals from our schools, our churches, and even our residential and commercial structures where we go into on a daily basis. I'm way off my original speech here. I haven't even started it yet. How much time do I have left, Melissa? Oh, thank you. You can start the timer now, since I'll start my speech now. I want to thank, you see some firefighters that are sitting here. This is with our current members, and we have some past members. We have some from around the county. Thank you very much for coming here to help support me on this. I want to thank the individual in the room who wishes to remain anonymous, who has been a mentor. I want to thank the chiefs in the county who have supported me as we do each other, and helped to share experiences, words of wisdom, and even those stories of blunders. I can remember watching a couple of our guys on I-75 roll up hose after an incident, and they were so focused on what they were doing, and as they rolled this hose, they focused so well on it that they bumped heads with each other. They were rolling the same piece of hose. The individual who I asked politely to please not break and just then the window shattered as I had my mic opened, and it was recorded up at Central Dispatch. The individual who, after tirelessly working to extinguish a grass fire, and as he's dragging his broom back to the truck, his broom is on fire and is igniting more grass fires, and we stood up there just watching and laughing. Those things you can't make up, and that's what makes our career so wonderful. Thanks to the community for showing its support of the fire department. We really appreciate the recent support of the Chief Sippert. It's not fire safety millage, but public safety millage. And the community who let me come out and talk to their kids, the thousands of them that I've talked to in the schools over the past many years. What a reward it is talking to these young kids and being able to share what we have for them, and then later on encountering them and they're able to share what they've learned from us. lastly, to my family, don't do that. My daughter and my son and my wife here, they have put up with me leaving their fun events. Not being able to be there at all for some of them as I work shift 24 hours. But hopefully they got something out of this as being around somebody who enjoyed what they do and got to share this experience. My daughter Stacy, who is a teacher in Jackson. My son AJ, who was a paramedic both here in Genesee County and Lapeer County. And the other chief in the house, the CPA, Chief Financial Officer, my wife Becky, who just yesterday as we're in the kitchen bumping into each other, I commented that we're going to have to get to know each other's ways better. And she quickly corrected me and said, no, you're going to have to get to know my ways better. So, my family, thank you. Also, we have my mom, Joanne, my sister, Marianne, her husband, Mike, and Stacy's friend, Dave.
Can you guys come closer together so that we can get a picture? Where are you going, John?
We need Stacy's friend Dave up there.
The camera's sitting here on the chair by itself.
I got this.
All right, thank you.
Doors that way?
Yeah, I know. Thanks, guys. I'll take 2 or 3. Smile, John. Hold on.
So a motion would be in order to approve the proclamation honoring the retirement of Chief John Ringwalski.
I have a motion on the floor by Mrs. Parker. I would take a second from Mr. Menudas. Is that okay? I had a motion on the floor and a second from Mr. Menudas.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of
Do you want me to finish for you? Approving the motion. I can't even do it. No, I'm just kidding. Mr. Castle?
Yes.
Mr. Menudas?
Yes.
Mrs. Furt? Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
Miss Miller?
yes?
Ms. Courts, yes. Mr. Castle, did I call you yes? No.
Yes.
Motion
I got
carries.
to vote twice.
Well, I get to vote twice. Motion carries. I gotta. I've known John the longest.
You don't have to hug the man now.
We'll keep this on a professional level. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm happy for you, John, I really am.
Thank you, John. You're next, Janelle.
Supervisor, can I?
Before I ask Janelle to come up, I just want to also recognize Chief Ringwalski from the police side. I want to congratulate you and thank you for your years of service. It has truly been a privilege and an honor serving alongside you. We've always had a good friend at the fire department. Whenever I needed anything, I could always count on Chief Ringwalski to stand up. We're going to miss you sitting at the table. We would often joke before the meeting, who's going to be on the hot seat tonight? And because you never really knew. And then after the meeting, I'd sometimes go, it was all on you tonight. Sometimes he'd return the favor. So thank you for your service, and it's been a pleasure. And now I'd like to ask Janelle DeVille to come forward. I know the supervisor is going to read a proclamation in a moment. Janelle DeVille has served 17 years as a communication operator for the Township Police Department. And you might ask, well, what does a township or police department communication operator do? And what I would say is, what don't they do? Our building is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it is staffed by somebody behind the desk all the time as a communication operator. They answer the phone, they answer the radio, they answer questions as people come in. They're the tour guide, expert on the township. People ask for legal opinions, recommendations, you name it, our communication operators do that. And Janelle has helped us and done this work for many, many years. And we're going to miss her. There'll be some more details that the supervisor will read, but we could always count on Janelle. She usually had a smile on her face, even on some of those difficult days. The last few years, she's been working day shift quite often, so I would get to see Janelle more often than a lot of our night shift ones. But Madam Supervisor, if you could read the proclamation.
Okay. Whereas Janelle DeVille has served the citizens of the Charter Township of Flint as an able, thoughtful employee during her 17 years of service as a police communications operator for the Charter Township of Flint. And whereas Janelle DeVille most recently has been assigned to the day shift, playing an integral part in the day-to-day operations of the police department. Whereas Janelle DeVille has been an active leader, serving for many years as a trainer for new employees and as a union steward. Whereas Janelle DeVille is known for her dependability, composure, and fair approach to the public and other employees assigned to her shift. And whereas the Charter Township of Flint wishes to publicly recognize the significant contributions of Janelle DeVille to the Flint Township community, now therefore, the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Flint, on behalf of the staff and residents, do hereby issue this proclamation to honor Janelle DeVille and recognize her time and dedication to the Charter on the Charter Township of Flint Police Department. Signed this 20th day of April, 2015. Thank you very much. But you can. Do you have family here too?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll let you start.
Oh, basically, all I can say is it's been a pleasure. I started here 17 years ago because my husband's GM plant was going on strike, and I can't live without money. So, and I have stayed ever since. But it's just gotten to the point where old age has set in, and I've just gotten too old to put up with the active busy. It's really busy there, let me tell you. And so I just decided it was time to step down and let somebody younger fill in for me. Thank you. Torture my family and make them come up here.
She's shaking her head no.
I've got my son Jerry and his wife Tiffany and his 2 children, my grandchildren, Bailey and Shaylin. My son Tom and his wife Nicole. And my daughter Mary. My oldest granddaughter would have loved to be here, but now that I'm not working, I can't afford to fly her home from ASU for a weekend, so she's stuck out there.
Do you want to come and get a picture?
Sure.
And we'll, can you get that, Tracy?
Yeah. Once they all get together.
So we'll, a motion would be in order to approve the proclamation for Janelle DeVille.
Motion to support the proclamation for Janelle with regrets.
Second.
Congratulations, though. Second by Mr. Castle.
Is there any discussion? Chief Zippert, did you have something?
No.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the proclamation of the retirement of communication operator Janelle DeVille signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Janelle, and thank you for your service.
Madam Supervisor, before everyone breaks, I would just like to mention the May 4th board meeting will be canceled due to the May 5th election. The next board meeting will be May 18th.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're going to take a 30-minute break, and we're going to have cake and coffee here. And I wanted to thank and recognize someone who has volunteers to take the time to come and set up for our celebrations, and she's hiding behind. There we are, Christy Hunt. Thank you very much for the work that you do. 30-minute break? We're going to break till about 8 o'clock.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So we'll call this meeting back to order, and let's see, we will move on to public comment. If you would like to address the board, I'd ask that you come to the podium, state your name and address, and you'll be given 3 minutes to address the board.
Terry Locke, 3140 Herrick, Flint Township. I'm here today to talk regarding, I am the producer of the videos that are shown on the Township and on Comcast Channel 17. And I had a disturbing phone call here on the 9th from Mr. Dave Huffman that called and was very demanding to get information from me regarding my first name, my last name, my cameraman's name, and then I pressed him for the issue of what this was regarding, and he was very irate and so loud that even my wife could hear him, and she was 5 feet away from me on my phone. And he stated that he had some type of a concern regarding the way the video was videotaped from the last meeting, that he did not get to see himself, which he wasn't actually not at the meeting, but he was concerned about his friends that were not able to be seen during the video. We had a wide shot of the board here, and nothing was ever edited out of this video. None of our videos were ever edited. They are from gavel to gavel. Okay, the only time there is any editing is when we go into a break, such as what we did today, and when we resume. No content is ever altered in these videos. But I still kept being pressed by him, wanting to know why we did not show it. And I kept telling him, I said, we didn't change any of the content. You were able to be heard. He kept persisting and kept telling me that it was his constitutional right to be seen on TV. I stopped him right there and told him, no, it's not. He has that constitutional right to address this board as I am today, but it does not give him a constitutional right to be on television. And he continued to persist, asking who gave this order. Was it the board? Was it me? You know, why? And I kept telling him, this is the way we videotape. Sometimes you're seen, sometimes you're not. He then called me again on the 10th at 10:15 and left me a message for me to return his call. He then called again later that afternoon at 2:04. And I take very offense to his phone call. I don't know what his agenda is, if he's trying to go for some type of office or something, but I'd be highly suspicious to anybody that would call and bully somebody like that over the phone. I'm not very happy about this conversation, and at this point, if I receive any more phone calls from him, I will use my legal action and contact the police department for harassment charges. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else who'd like to address?
Can I move that so he can see me? I am Bonnie Salem Williamson, and I'm not related to Don and Patsy. Karen, I am here to salute you for taking on a very controversial battle, and that of being panhandling. Karen, no matter what decision is made, 50% of the people are going to be happy with your decision, and 50% are going to be very mad at you. The panhandlers are strategically placed at stoplights, which makes me very fearful and intimidated. I'm trapped and have to wait for traffic to move. These individuals make up to $300 a day. If in fact they are in need, there are several organizations locally that can assist them. New Path, Carriagetown, and Salvation Army, where they not only have a roof over their head, but they're counseled and they work repairing items that are sold. If they are in need of food or clothing, the agencies are just too numerous to list. Panhandling is a growing social and public safety concern. It becomes a higher priority with police when it makes citizens like myself very apprehensive. Karen, here is my card. Feel free to contact me in any way that I can to help you support your cause. I'll trip if I go that way.
Give it to, you can give it to the
You can give it to,
secretary over here.
Okay,
Melissa.
thank you.
And I just wanted to state that we work by a majority rule, so anything that was decided would have been a board decision, so
I just commend you for
thank
what
you.
you've done, and I appreciate it. I live in Grand Blanc, exactly. And it's very difficult. I could go to Detroit shopping because I'm in the middle.
That me?
Thank you for commenting.
Oh, it ain't
Go
me.
right ahead.
Madam Supervisor, I'm Carnell Smith. I live at 1254 River Forest Drive, and I want to speak about the conditions of our roads. We have an understanding that at some point our roads are supposed to be repaired, but no one has gave us a timeline in 2015 when our roads are going to be repaired. And at 1254, there's a section of the road that has caved in. This is not a pothole. This is caved in. And traffic going out, we have to go out the same way traffic comes in at one section of our street. And first, that's not safe, and it's not the right way to go or anything. And we need extremely bad someone to do something about our roads. Our roads is in terrible condition. I don't know when either member of this board has ever been down River Forest, but I would like to see someone from this board, or if not everyone on this board, to go down there. You couldn't take a minute because it's going to take you at least 10 minutes to drive from one end to the other end, because you have to be careful. If you're not, you're going to tear your car up. And we've had problems with people having rim leaks from their tires. Bell Tire have repaired my tires twice this year, and my wife once, and they say it's because of our potholes, and we need something really seriously done about our roads as soon as possible. And so, can anybody on the board tell us when they plan to do something about our roads?
So this isn't a question and answer time, but I will tell you this, that we had secured $98,000 of block grant funds to repair River Forest only. There's water damage from the condominiums and the apartments. They're draining their sump pumps in the road, which is causing damage. I've met with Fred Pavandi, who's an engineer, head engineer out for Genesee County Road Commission. I've met Ron Latimer. I've met Terry Burns, we've spent time out. I have pictures on my phones. I'm getting an estimate as we speak so that we can get it fixed. We're going to address the drainage issues, and we're going to take care of the major areas right in front of, right before you get to the lane heading south, exiting, right in front of the apartment complex and further down where it's heaved. $98,000 is not going to go far, but we're going to fix that road so that you can drive it. As I said before, the road millage was $400,000. It doesn't go very far. We can only fix a few roads. Last year, we had to, River Forest was not included in, you couldn't spend block grant funds there, so we had to work with the clerk's office and Genesee County Planning Commission. We were trying to do an income survey. They came out with a new map, which included River Forest area at that point, so the funding wasn't an issue. It was an issue of what is the road commission going to do for us? And we were pointing, because the road commission maintains all our roads.
Okay.
We had one department pointing to engineering, we had one department pointing to maintenance. It will be done this summer. We're waiting on the estimate. Approval for the funding has been done. That road will be fixed before school starts this summer.
Okay, will you give us a heads up so we can be prepared for whenever you come down? Because I know you're probably gonna have to shut the road down for whatever section you repair, so we can make adjustments.
They'll do traffic, reroute traffic, but the road commission is first gonna be doing stuff for the MDOT. They'll fix those before they start working on our local projects. So it's gonna be at least mid-July, if not August. I don't see it happening before that. But it will be done before school starts.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Can I ask a question?
Can you restate your name for me though, sir, before you leave? Carl?
Carnell Smith,
Arnell, okay, thank you.
1254 River Forest Drive.
Is there any way they can fill some of those until that gets fixed?
So
And go out and
the
just
asphalt,
patch the really-
the asphalt plants haven't opened up. They fill with a cold patch. They put it in one day, it pops out the next. Those plants, they were open for one day this last week. They're gonna be opening up. And no other work's gonna be done but filling potholes as soon as those plants open up, because that's where they use the hot stuff and they smash it down. So that'll be occurring over the next couple of weeks as those plants open up. The one that was open, there was one plant open in Saginaw where we brought the hot stuff down last Wednesday, and that was it. But I know word from Terry Burns, our Swartz Creek Garage supervisor for Genesee County Road Commission, said we're going to be concentrating on potholes over the next few weeks. So,
That's not gonna help.
is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
My name is Gerald Roberts, 4487 Lundywood Drive, Swartz Creek, Michigan. I'm about 5'7" tall, have gray hair, have kind of like an hourglass figure that's shifted over the years. So I'm kind of describing myself because the camera might not be on me tonight. I am a veteran. I served 6 years in the Michigan National Guard, was activated 3 times. And I've lived in this particular township since 1971 and have paid, in my estimation, close to $60,000 in property taxes over that period of time. I feel I have a right to talk. I feel I have liberty and justice for all. And I can give you a little bit of background as to why Mr. Hoffman was so upset. Mr. Hoffman was upset because every other meeting that you would look at, the camera would always be on the speakers up here and then pan back and forth. And while the speakers were talking, at least you could see the speakers talking. It seems that lately, Ms. Miller has been hearing some negative stuff that she doesn't like to hear, so she's tried to stifle us. Stifle the people, in other words, that have liberty and justice for all to speak out and to give our word. Now, by doing this and by not panning on there, our road commissioner had full pan on everything he was saying. There was another person that got up, then the negative person, in other words, it was talking on the road commission, was not panned. Now, that's not liberty and justice for all with regard to both sides being panned and being able to see, speaking about those particular issues. That's wrong. One more point that I have. Approximately a year and a half ago, there was a lady coming in from the I-75 corridor stating that she wanted money, in other words, to enhance the business community down through here. And I noticed a couple meetings ago she was back again. Have we ever had a report with regard to what we're paying that money out of our funds for that, and what benefit it has done to Flint Township here? We have an enhancement director, and I can see that she's doing a good job because I see all kinds of businesses down through here. Now, I don't think that I-75 corridor person is doing one thing with regard to bigger business in here, but yet we're still paying out. In my estimation, some of these particular pieces or businesses have a CEO that's drawing a big salary and doing nothing. If we're going to give money to those particular organizations, let's see what they've actually done. We need a report showing what we've got for our money. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
Dave Huffman, 2483 Warner Road. As projected tonight, I am not the big bad wolf out of control, but just a concerned citizen about the residents of the township. It saddens me as a township resident and a taxpayer to see public comments edited after all these years and after all the administrations and all the people that I've seen since my father's been on the board, from the time that I've been involved with this too. I don't know what the reasons are for it. As stated, it's not about me being on television, but as a taxpayer out here for the last 50 years, I think I have every right to address this board. And as far as the videos go, that is public monies too, that is given to pay for this Dynamite videos. That's public monies. That's not right, and the administration knows this isn't right. It totally takes away all of the transparency and credibility that this administration has left by pulling a stunt like this and then trying to cover it up like you never knew anything about it. I found out from you personally that you did have something to do about it, and you gave the video people explicit instructions not to put the camera on the residents on public comments, but to just focus in the board. You said it to me yourself, Karen.
I didn't.
The money that Comcast paid, like I say, is still public monies, no matter how, any way, shape, way, or form you want to address this. It's not right what you're doing. To pick and choose public speakers to be shown is non-transparent and it's petty. Especially public figures pushing for billions of dollars of a state increase on taxes as far as our roads, and then give them the public forum. The beauty, and my dad expressed this several times to me, the beauty of local government was always the open transparency that it had for residents and the taxpayers in Flint Township. I have a sickening and I have a strange feeling that this administration wants to eliminate all public comments in the future. This is just the beginning. This act would totally destroy the concept of open government in Flint Township. And once again, it's a sad day for the residents and the taxpayers in this township to be put on a separate playing field and separate rules that you've made up. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
Madam Supervisor, I'd just like to mention, we videotape for the public, for everyone, for those that can attend meetings and those that do attend meetings. But I want to be clear to everyone, we don't have to videotape. We do that for the convenience of every resident. But it just seems like tonight, listening to what we're saying is becoming an argument about this, and I question, is it the right thing to do?
So I just want to further state that in all the years that the township has had meetings, they never recorded their meetings and put them on Channel 17 or on the website. We started that in 2009, so it hasn't been an ongoing thing. And as Mr. Locke mentioned, we do not edit our meetings. From gavel to gavel, they're played. And the right of a resident or anybody to address the board, their voice is heard. They get to address this body as a whole. And I pull up the Open Meetings Act, Act 267 of 1976, Section 15.263. It says that a body may establish reasonable rules and regulations in order to minimize the possibility of disrupting the meeting. I've done nothing wrong. We focused on the board this time. You'll see anybody who addressed the board, you didn't have to describe. You'll see your face. It'll be there. And I'll let everyone know at the next meeting, we're going to pan wide and all your heads will be on TV. We're not limiting anybody. Before I took office, you couldn't find our budget or our audit or any of our restricted funds. You find our meeting agendas, minutes, you find all that online. You can't say that we're not transparent. You can find anything you want. And if you can't find it online, you can come in anytime that we're open and ask for that information. If you can't get it readily and handily, you can file a Freedom of Information Act. I don't know anyone who's more transparent than this board, and they've made decisions to do so. We've updated our software to .net with BSNA. You can pay your water bills online. You can pay your taxes online. We just discussed in our staff meeting tonight, you'll be able to access all the information from the building department, whether it's a permit or a business license. That'll be up and running June 1st. I don't know much more that we could put online to access, that you could access and be transparent than what we do. If you have more suggestions, that's fine, but I commend this board for the work that they do in being transparent to show you where your money is being spent. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board?
Madam Supervisor, I just have a couple of things to say, if I might.
Well,
on this issue, I think I'm entitled to do that. Maybe I want to give a little slight history lesson and talk about public comments and freedom of speech and so on. I think that Mr. Locke shouldn't have been called and yelled at by a township resident, so how he's taping these things. He is certainly right that there's no constitutional right to appear on television. However, I think when the speaker is speaking, that our practice, at least for the 4 or 5 years that it's been taped, has been to show the speaker. And to not show the speaker makes speakers less effective. And I think that there's some consternation on the part of some people over what some of the residents say. And they don't like what some of the residents say. And I don't like everything that's said up here about me and other people, but the residents certainly have a right to say it. And I'm going to point to a case, a Supreme Court case, many years ago. A case involving an incident that occurred at Alabama State College in Montgomery, Alabama. There was a big confrontation there, and the police arrested many people, including Dr. Martin Luther King. And an article was in the New York Times criticizing the police and commissioner and other people in Montgomery, Alabama for what they did. And the New York Times was sued in the state of Alabama, and by a fellow by the name of Sullivan, who was a police commissioner, and he won a judgment of $500,000 against the New York Times. And the Supreme Court of Alabama affirmed it, and it was appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States. And the Supreme Court heard that case, and they reversed the decision and threw out the case. And I'm just going to quote what Justice William Brennan said in the majority opinion, which was a unanimous opinion of the Supreme Court. And he said, the case was decided in 1964, he said, "We consider this case against the background of profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues should be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may very well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials." And occasionally we have that around here. But that is the residents' right. It's our duty to listen to it, whether we like it to or not. And I think that it's more effective if it's on television. It might not be a constitutional right, and as long as we've done that all this time, we should continue to do that.
So we'll move on to open action items. Action item A is before you. It's to consider the approval of the 2015 milling and paving project of Graham Road. It's north of M21, south of Calkins Road, and north of M21. It's the zigzag in the road, and then it's south of M21 to just before the bridge. You have the estimate in front of you. I've also handed out a summary from our controller. It shows, the summary shows what's in the fund balance, because that's where this would be coming from. This board's already approved the 2015 expenditures for the road millage budget, so those funds are already used up. This project would come out of general fund if that's what this board chooses to do. So you have the estimate in front of you. If someone would like to make a motion? Can we get a motion? You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is there a motion to move forward?
I have a question.
Can we
Well,
get
if there's no motion, then there's no reason to have a discussion.
I'm trying to get a motion so we can have discussion if you want. So if there's no motion on the table, then we put this aside and we can bring it back another time. You had questioned about us doing Graham Road when we approved Calkins, so I brought the estimate as I said I would, and it'll die for lack of a motion if nobody wants to make that motion. We'll move on to action item B. Madam Clerk.
Consider approval Metro Act application Great Lakes, Inc. It's a fiber optics company from, they'll be doing work from Linden Road, from Corona to 2222, the building there. And I've looked at it, the building department's looked at it, everything looks to be in order, so I would motion we go ahead with the fiber optics from Great Lakes, Inc.
Is there a second to the motion?
Support.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, we don't need to do a roll call. All those in favor of approving the Metro Act application for Great Lakes ComNet, Inc., signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? The motion passes. And I think that brings us to the end of...
I'd still like to say something if you don't mind before we close.
Go ahead.
You know, during public comments, usually if there's something that is stated after the public has made their comments and that type of thing, usually this is supervisor that may have something to say back, but not the rest of the board members. But when I ask to talk about something that is on the agenda, I'd like to be heard from here on out, for the record. Thank you, that's it.
I understand that, but according to parliamentary procedure, we're supposed to have a motion on the table. If you want to say it now, you can, Barb.
No, we're good.
We're good. Then the meeting's over. Without objection, with no further business, we'll call this meeting adjourned.
We got done pretty good.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.